It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Cowboys and the 49ers, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Cowboys in this matchup. It's a relatively balanced offense. The next-gen stats kind of bear that out. What do you think they'll be looking to do in this one?
I think it'll be exactly what you just talked about. They'll want to be balanced on offense, which means to them, they'll want everyone involved. See if they can get some one-on-ones in the passing game. Maybe identify some situation where they can swing the ball to the backs in space. Even find some spots where they just want to play some old-fashioned power football. As one of the most successful coaches in the league told us once, the definition of balanced offense, that means you can do what you want when you want to, not necessarily just running it 50% of the time and throwing it the same percentage.
It's the team of the 80s versus the team of the 90s. The Niners, the Cowboys, they're underway. This is Tony Pollard. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go, boys.
Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. First down throw for Prescott. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll make it second down. On play action, Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And quickly to the outside, that's caught by Lamb. A gain of 6 there on first. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And again, it's Prescott. They've got his man complete. And he's finally out of bounds, but he's taken it all the way down to the 8. A big play here for Dallas.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Now Elliott. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Again, it's Elliott. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Elliott. Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. Decision time, opening drive here. What would you do?
There is no decision for me. I'm the visitor. I'm on the road. I've moved the ball downfield. I've got momentum. I'm going for it right here. Look at that play sheet. Pick out your best play.
And even if you don't get it, then your defense is going to have a really good situation on the other side.
Exactly. And in fact, though, I'm not even telling my defense to get ready. I'm telling them to get ready to celebrate because we're going to score.
4th down, Prescott. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So here are the 49ers now with a long field ahead. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. They'll run on 1st down. Mitchell. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Now after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Back near his goal line. Here's Lance. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. .39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
No running room for Zeke on first down as he'll maybe get a yard out of that.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Now Prescott. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Maurice Hurst breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Cowboys! But Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense, because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Yeah, and that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their second drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here we go, set. 52 blue. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
On first down, Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
I'm going to run you.
On second down, it's Mitchell. Not much room to run. Just gets it to the 35 after showcasing his tough running.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike.
On third down, Mitchell. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Let's go.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Mitchell. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a play fake. Lance. Man open. That's Deebo Samuel. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 36. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down at the Cowboys' 27. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
Let's go!
On 1st down, it's Mitchell. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage. And now 3rd and 11 coming up. Shotgun now for Lance. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Now a give, right side. Mitchell, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Elijah Mitchell, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Gold with the extra point, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. That one in the books as a 12-play drive and a 9-yard run on the end of it. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Now Pollard. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. But he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Throwing, Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep, Ray McLeod. And taken right at the 35. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Here's a handoff out of the gun, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now Lance on the bootleg. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. These two teams all tied after one. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Mitchell able to power through. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And some room to maneuver. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's brought down.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely at their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far on this drive. This offense on the march.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Mitchell. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Mitchell again. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run.
And this time he is in. Elijah Mitchell with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the 2nd time in the ballgame.
And, Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Gold to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Forced, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Maurice Hurst able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for offense.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
One of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Hands it off out of the gun. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. And to give this time to the tailback. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
2nd and 4. Draw play, Elliott. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Play action now, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A give to Elliott. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 36.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
A first down carry by Elliott. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On 2nd and 9, Prescott. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. 55.
Here's Lance. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And Lance going to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
Give me that ball, defense.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Escaping the pressure right, and he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll run on first down. It's Mitchell, and not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And Lance now to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on first down is Lance. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. And they'll get this down to the 10.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Oh, now a strip. He loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there? There's so much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football. Here we go.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half, Prescott. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports halftime report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Lance. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Shotgun now for Lance. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Meanwhile, Dak's throw there caught by Gallup. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Maurice Hurst bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll need a big play here with Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Now Prescott. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. The give is to Elliott. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Prescott's throw hauled in by Washington. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. There's a ball thrown right side and complete.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Don't let up! Outside! Outside!
Second down and 8. They go to Elliott again. He's got the 1st down inside the 10 and down to the 7-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
To throw is Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dalton Schultz there to make the grab. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
Now the try here for the point after. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The Niners set to take over on offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down.
55, Mike, 55. Ready, go.
Here's Lance to throw it. And the grab by Croft. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second down at 4.
Check 55, Mike. In your face.
They run the counter. It's Mitchell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And the Cowboys here on third down bringing in an extra defensive back. Working from the gun, Lance. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Lance now on first down. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
From midfield, here's Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to get the football back at their own 17. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well, no one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On second down, Elliott once more. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. Room here to run. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. 126 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Ezekiel Elliott, a guy who considers himself underrated, has told his detractors to put some respect on his name. Hard not to respect a run like that.
And that's why he's one of the best running backs in the game today, because this run combined all the elements. Started with patience, and he was just waiting for the right lane to materialize. Then once he saw it, he used his speed and escapability in tandem and turned this into a tremendous play.
Now Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. And he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
A try here for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here. He'll be kind of looking to erase the first part of this third quarter from his memory partner.
I think he, above all, was upset that they actually got to halftime. Because you saw him in the first half. He was really sharp,
and they had
good,
the lead.
Had the lead. Everything was going well. And you know you keep telling yourself, just stay up, stay motivated. But sometimes at halftime can kill your mojo.
Yeah, now he's had an interception, a fumble. We'll see what he does here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Short throw hauled in by Croft. Not much there, only a yard. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
14's the mic. 14. Ready.
To throw again on second down. Lance. He's got a man. Complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for the Niners.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Mitchell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, 28 yards. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive interception, this drive the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it solid because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's had a good third quarter. He likes whatever adjustments were made at halftime, whether those were team adjustments or just him talking to himself.
And whatever that conversation was, it was pretty good because he is running really well here in the third quarter. But I like to think it is a team adjustment. Offensive line, those big escorts of his, they figured out how to block a little bit better, and he's found those holes to run through.
He has indeed. Play action now, Prescott. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And out across midfield down to the 45. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Bring it, baby. Bring it.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Prescott yet again.
And this one quickly to Lamb.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Dak going to hand it to Elliott on the option.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
19 yards for Ezekiel Elliott. And the Cowboys get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
To throw, it's Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. The Niners on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Gonna take a shot for Gallup. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Mike 14! Mike 14!
And Lance now to throw. Checks this one down. It's Mitchell. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
The Niners on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Mitchell.
And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Cowboys' 29-yard line. 101 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10. Here's Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Elijah Mitchell taking it in from 2 yards out. And the 49ers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Now Gold for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Now Pollard. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here's 2nd and a yard. A handoff left, Elliott. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
2nd and 12. They'll run with Elliott. And he'll get it down here to the 43. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
2nd down. Here's an option right. And not much running room. Down to the 32. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Prescott. To the right side and complete to Washington. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Zeke going to get it on the option. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. Being chased out left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Looking to throw, Prescott. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. On first down, Mitchell. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
14's the mic. 14's.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the gun on third down, Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Good footwork at the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And now here come the Cowboys. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete here.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
In his face!
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Here's Elliott. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.